Wait for people to trickle in. Hey, Jess. Welcome, social media world. Magic happens. What a great name. No worries, Jess. I'll wait for my internal magic number and then I will go through the list, beautiful lady. Welcome, Casper. Welcome, Casper. How's everybody doing? Hey, Veronica. Hope you got my message, lovely soul. How's everybody doing out there in crazy land? Pink Gin Baby, welcome. All right, cool. I love that you guys come in straight away. It is so awesome. How's everybody doing? Is this a sci-fi movie or what? Let's see, my intention for tonight is obviously to do 2 power animal readings as always. But is that a statue, the one with the bird on its head behind you? No, this is actually, let me point. This is actually a Mayan statue. It's a Mayan replica that was made for me in Mexico where I lived. And it's actually got a dolphin on his head. He's a Mayan priest. I can go through introducing you to him at some point. Chuping! Hello, beautiful Chuping. All right, so welcome, Stuart. So, okay, so the intention for tonight is always the power animal readings. That's a no, that's like a non-negotiable. And really, I'd love to know how everyone's doing, because what I find in the work that I do, as well as in the circles that I'm a part of, which are a few, as in friends, you know, people on this path with me, a lot of people are having a tough time. And I don't think anyone would be probably under the illusion to say that they're rocking it or kicking it and it's just every day is easy. But I just want to see how everyone's doing, you know. I get this constant image. It's not been in a dream, but it's been lucid. So sometimes I wake up and I'm half asleep, half awake, which is when it's lucid. And I see myself holding one person's hand. Sorry, that's gone off the screen. Holding one person's hand on that side, another person's hand on that side, that person's holding someone else's hand, etc., etc., etc. And it's like we're holding each other's hands through this. And that is obviously a metaphor, but really I think that's what's needed so that we all travel through this sci-fi movie, through these challenges together, connected, not alone. It's one thing to have tools. It's another thing to be doing it physically alone. And I think it's so important that we just stay connected more than ever. Okay, that image never leaves me. So just wanted to reiterate that. Emotionally challenged. Thank you for sharing that. It's just coming up, Facebook user, beloved soul. So I'm not sure who that is. Sometimes on Facebook, unfortunately, it just shows me Facebook user. So if you do want to reveal your beautiful identity, you'll need to give me your name. Anxious. Thanks for sharing, Pink Gin Baby. Yeah, I completely get it. You know, I usually use my twins. I've got twin boys, 7-year-old boys. I usually use them as a gauge of obviously what's going on for me, but they often give me an indication of what's going on with the energies, at least. I won't say collective because sometimes it is, but at least the energy of this area, energies of Victoria, Melbourne, whatever you want to call it. Man, they're off the Richter scale with their amount of fighting and the amount of tension they wake up with. I have to do so much work to keep them grounded. Like they are just, you know, they're like 2 little volcanoes. It's very hard managing that, very hard. So any parent out there, I can only imagine what your child is having to channel and connect with. Obviously, this is not conscious, but the children are really having a tough time, let alone then what happens for the parents. So not easy, absolutely not easy. Been tough watching the lack of compassion and story playing out. Oh, look, absolutely. I totally agree with you. And there's a lot I want to say about that. I'll say something quickly about that, and then we can come back to it after. What I have found, and I'm seeing more and more, just like what you're saying, is a lot of people are disconnecting from this, yeah, because of certain things that are happening. They're struggling to come back to the heart. No judgment. It's part of what needs to play out, but that takes a toll. That takes a toll because not only does it increase the disconnection, the complete opposite of what we want, but also you're seeing how people are not able to have compassion for each other, and that is playing out in such a massive way. And it's got so many ramifications. If we can't come back to the heart, let alone those that are really, how do I say, have bought a certain story, can't come back to the heart. How are we going to find a way to communicate? You know, so there's a lot I want to say about that, but I'll leave it to the end, beautiful soul. So let's begin. Thank you. All right, so let's find two beautiful souls. The way this works, my passion is anything related to the animals, obviously. That is one of my gifts. I work with the animals in spirit, but it's essentially anything that belongs to this beautiful earth. But what I do on these calls is I connect with a person, and basically a curtain opens up on my right-hand side of whichever animal is ready to step forward. I refer to the specific animal that I work with on these readings, the power animals, because the power animals are the ones wanting to share some form of power, protection, insight, empowerment on some level, confidence, alerting you to something. There's so many different power animals. We've all got them. Whether you believe in this stuff or not, we've all got them. What I do on these lives is I can channel the animal that wants to step forward, at least to connect the two of you, so you can begin probably in a relationship that's always been there, but solidify it so that you can walk together, especially now, knowing you've got this part of your team, you know, awakened and with full power to what's possible for you. All right, so let's have a look. All right, Jess, let's do you, beautiful Jess Lopez. I can't ignore you, sister. All right, let's see what, and now I can tell you about that statue there. That statue is phenomenal. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so Jess Lopez, let's see which power animal wants to step forward. Oh, geez, doesn't take long. I've got a massive bird of prey, massive bird of prey. I can see these huge talons right off the bat. They're massive. They're like this brownie. I would almost say like there's a little bit of yellow in there, but it's more like a brownie gold, if that makes sense. Massive talons. Sometimes they reveal the whole body straight away. Sometimes it starts and builds the more I, you know, sit with the energy. So definitely a bird of prey. Let's get bigger, bigger, bigger. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it is an eagle, but guess what? Normally when it's an eagle, I'm expecting, you know, because we're on this land, I often expect it's a golden or the wedge-tailed eagle. No, I'm being shown actually, thank you. It's actually the bald eagle, Jess. It is actually the bald eagle, okay? So I don't know if you know much about the bald eagle. Sometimes people refer to it as the fish eagle in the United States, but it is all black. It's got like yellow on the top here. I'm seeing a little bit of definitely a bigger beak than what we have with our Australian wedge-tailed eagles. Like the beak is pretty predominant. I mean, I don't need to tell you, you probably know what the bald eagle looks like. But this bald eagle, let's see what he has to say. It's a male, by the way. This bald eagle, okay, thank you. He's actually saying he's not been with you until now, okay? So this is a bird that's wanting to come in for the next leg of the journey. I don't know, Jess, you've probably seen sometimes when I do these readings, it's the animal that's been with us since childhood. This one is for the next leg of your journey. So that's really interesting. This bald eagle is wanting to journey from now onwards, okay? Let's see what he's got to say. Interesting. I'm being shown the bald eagle, okay, but in a group, meaning there is a co-creation or a connection with other eagle people that is wanting to coordinate with you, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. But it's more that sometimes you get stuck down here. You get stuck, sorry, I'm being visual here. Sometimes you get stuck with what's going on below, what's going on with the mundane, what's going on with reality, what's going on with the world around you in the physical. What eagles do, or what eagles support people in doing, is bringing them right up, taking them out of the story, the situation, up there so they can see things from a bird's eye view or eagle's eye perspective. But what's different with the bald eagle, and it's interesting because I don't know if you know this, but a lot of other eagles, they just stay in their family groups, or they just stay in, you know, in their mated pair. Specifically, this bald eagle is wanting to make sure I tell you about the group. There's something about this group of eagles, yeah? I think if I remember, I've seen footage of, you know, bald eagles doing all sorts of things, but they are in groups. They're not a solitary bird, or at least in pairs. It's bigger than that. And that's part of the reason why he's chosen to journey with you moving forward, is there's something about you connecting with other eagle people. What does that mean? Do these people necessarily have a bald eagle as one of their power animals? Possibly, but it's not just that. It's connecting with other people who also have the same eagle eye perspective as you, as well as what I'm being shown is when this bird dives down to catch what it needs. Okay, so what he's showing me is, yes, he dives down, he grabs the fish from the water, But often what happens, I can't remember if I've seen this or not, but what he's wanting to remind you of is there's a lot of other animals or a lot of other competitors that come and take that fish, and they often jostle for it. Yeah, I don't know if this happens with other eagles, but this is just the bald eagle is wanting to highlight this. So there's a little bit of competition with these other eagle people. But what I'm being told is, and this is probably the community that you're a part of right now, there's an element of competition, or at least an element of trying to better, or trying to have one step in front or one step above some of the other community members. Either this is your current community or this is a community that you're trying to find. But what's really important is he's wanting to support you in the relationship with the other community, because they always sort it out. The bald eagles always sort it out between each other. I know sometimes they end up jostling, spiraling. That I've seen. I've seen that with a pair of bald eagles, but they always sort it out. Yes, there's a hierarchy, but that's not what this is about. It's more about working together with the other eagles so that everybody can have the fish, everybody can have what they need, everybody can feel supported, and everybody can have the eagle eye perspective. Okay? No, I'm being told this is not a protection animal. This is an animal that's going to pull you out of your shit. Jess? His words, not mine. So I don't, American eagle, that's it. You got it, Jess. So really what his power, or what he's wanting to offer you as one of his powers, because mind you, this is just the connection that's in the beginning, because you guys are coming together now. It starts like this, but it can evolve to so many other beautiful things that you guys can do together. But really it's about bringing you connected to the community that do have the eagle eye perspective like you, finding that way of supporting each other and working together so that everybody is sustained, as well as being able to see the eagle eye perspective through the situations you're all in. But not just that, being able to see the pieces from high above and being able to make the right decisions at the right time. Now, how do you work with an animal like this? Do you have to do this in meditation? Yeah, you know what? That's one way to do it, but it actually is not limited to that. If you've seen any of the other readings I do, you don't have to be sitting in meditation to connect with these animals. These animals are there. All you have to do is practice with what I refer to as your third eye. But really, what is that? Are you imagining something that's not there? No, you're actually connecting with something that is there, but using the word imagination, or to imagine, is you just seeing what you've already, what is already there. Yeah, magic, wise man, magician, already create that, right? So if you can just imagine that he's there, where is he? Let's see, where does he want to position? He sits there on your left shoulder, okay? You just need to see him there on your left shoulder. And what you do is, I would do this when you're in a quiet space. It's probably better. But ask him, yeah? You can ask him questions about what do you need to see from an eagle's eye perspective, or how do you need to see things from an eagle's eye perspective so that you can make the right decisions. And look, working with him might take a little bit of practice. You will get the validation, and it could be either a feeling in your body. It could be that you get certain key words. It's individual for each person. I can certainly work with you on that, Jess, but really it's about you exploring the relationship with him, because he's going to show you a lot. Yeah. Another thing I like to do is, when you've got access to these animals, you can borrow their eyes. What does that mean? Well, you're not literally putting on a new pair of lenses. It's a metaphor, but it's the imagining, okay? It's the imagining of you taking on his beautiful eyes, and see what that shows you. It might be an awareness shift. It might be you see things literally differently. I've had that as well. Or it could just be that you get more detail on something. Yeah. So I invite you to explore that and ask him questions and watch the synchronicities, because now that he's revealed himself, now he can work with you. Yeah. Now he can show you things from an eagle eye perspective. So I hope that helps, beautiful soul. And if you, oh my God, if I have a troll, can someone delete the troll? I don't know. Do I have a troll? I mean, trolls are everywhere, so they don't bother me, but I don't really want anyone harassing anyone on my, I haven't gone through the feed, beautiful ladies, or men, but if there's someone on there, please, I think you can actually block them. So I hope that helps you, Jess. Reach out if you have any questions. I might just go through my Instagram family, see if there is someone on there. Where are we? Emily. Yeah, you are so, you're shining like the sun, Emily. Bear with me, Emily. Sorry, do I have to delete it? Can you just message me if this person persists? Because I can't actually see anything. I've just got the bottom of the feed, my love, Jess. So if you can just tell me if it's persisting, I'll have to find it. All right, Emily, let's do you, sister. Oh, okay, cool. I've actually got a little mouse that's come in. I love it when the mice come in because they know they're going to keep you accountable. You can't get away with much when it comes to, I'm going to say, the species that are deemed as pests, okay? The species that are deemed as an annoyance, the mice, the rats, the spiders, the ants. Let's see what else. There's so many of them, you know, the centipedes, the silverfish, the earwigs. I love it when they actually step in or when people have experiences with them because I know they're trying to get something quite clear to keep you accountable or keep us accountable. And they're not to be ignored. I mean, you can ignore them, obviously, but these animals are not doing anything by chance. So when a mouse steps in, I know it wants obviously to support you, but it's going to do its best to keep you accountable, Emily. So let's have a look and see what this beautiful mouse wants to say. Okay, so yeah, definitely a mouse. All right, so it's a mouse, not a rat, okay, which is significant as well because there's something about her size. In fact, it's more that she can get into anything. Thank you. She can get into anything. She can go anywhere she wants, as well as she can find whatever she needs. And what she wants to show you, she says she's coming in for the next leg of your journey. So this is not an animal that you've had until now, okay? She's coming in for the next leg of your journey. And it's interesting. She wants me to tell you she's a female, and she's a female that actually takes, that's interesting, I didn't know this, runs the whole show, okay? I don't know how it works with the male and females in the mice realm. I've not really explored it, but what I do know is, you know, if an animal wants to really highlight something specific, there's a reason for that. She wants you to know she's a female mouse who finds what she needs when she needs it and knows what to do with it. Yeah, this is an animal that, if in many indigenous cultures, is seen as the animal of scrutiny, looking at the microscopic details. Okay, what she's wanting to support you with moving forward is not only finding those details, but also to have the confidence to find those details. So what do I mean by this? So when you work with mouse medicine, do you have to sit in meditation? Look, you don't have to. It does help if you're in a quiet space because then you can be quite present to the words or the information you receive. And what you could do is, you know, you don't have to spend long. You can sit there for 5 minutes and sit with her. Often, yeah, okay. Often what she's saying is you can just imagine you've got her in the palm of your hand. This is how cool this is. You can imagine you've got her in the palm of your hand and ask her, right, whatever is going on for you, sweetheart, whatever's going on for you, ask her to show you what detail you need to know next. Okay, this is just where it begins. She might jump out of your hand. I mean, this is all, like I'm saying, with your imagination, yeah, or what you visualize seeing her, but she's there. She might jump out and go and seek and come back with something in her mouth. You might hear words. You might have, you know, she might disappear completely and you have no awareness of her. And then obviously, you know, then something could catch your attention in relation to a mouse. And then you hear a piece of information. Each person has their own unique relationship with these animals. So I can't tell you how it's going to look. All I know is that she's wanting to support you in finding the next details for you, for whatever you are struggling with. And finding them not only with confidence, but also knowing that that will then lead to the next thing, which will then lead to the next thing. There's a part of you that's stressing about what's going on now and whether you'll find what you need to survive, whether you'll find what you'll need to thrive. And the fact that she's a female, she just wants to acknowledge, like, she can find whatever she needs. And there's a reason that mice are so successful in pretty much all environments, is because it's not just the smell. It's the way that they can get into any small space to get what they need. They've got an incredible sense of hearing. They've got an incredible sensitivity into the environment that they're actually existing in. So they can sense things in advance, you know. But there's something about her being soft, feminine. I'm not going to say graceful because that's not the word, but it's more that she doesn't have to force things, but she'll freaking find it. Yeah, she'll freaking find it. And look, I had a cat about a year ago, and this cat caught a mouse. And I held the mouse in my hands, and it was like we had this beautiful interaction face to face, this mouse. And I asked it, "Are you afraid?" And what I got was, "I'd be afraid if you give me back to the cat." So anyway, so this beautiful mouse and I like staring at each other. And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, wow, you are so calm in my hands. I mean, I could have sat with her for hours, but obviously not. I needed to release her. But she was so chilled. She was so chilled. And what it really showed me is these animals, they're quick if they need to be, but also they'll take things slowly to find what they need. They need to dart and get somewhere fast, they'll do it. But if they don't need to, they'll take their time because they know they can find what they need because they got everything they need to use to get what they need. Does that make sense? So it's about you spending time with her, all right? Spending time with her in the palm of your hands. I'm not being shown you putting her on any part of your body, yeah? But hold her in the palms of your hand and allow for her to retrieve what you need in whichever way she does. Does that make sense? You know, feel free to reach out if you've got any questions, but resilience, absolutely. A mouse is freaking resilient. Jeez, if there's any mouse that could get away, it's any animal that can get away, it's the mouse. Yeah, they just thrive and survive powerfully in so many ways. So I hope that helps. Emily, reach out if you've got any questions. All right, sweeties. So that's it for the readings, but I want to go through any questions because I want to make sure, you know, that you guys, I know you know that you're not alone because I've said that before, but I will share something in a minute that might support you. Oh, great. Yeah, no, I can see I did have spam. Did somebody block him? Let me see if I can. Block user. Sorry, just bear with me. I don't know. I blocked some weird guy there. Okay. American Eagle. Yep. Welcome, Rebecca, Simone. Oh, I've got another spammer. Do you know what? I take it as a compliment that people feel they need to spam. You know, bless them. Bless them, bless them, bless them. Simone, I miss my doggy so badly. My partner is minding her. She would sleep with me every night. I'm worried she misses me too. You know, the thing is with animals, our companion animals, I don't know if you've seen me share this on here before, they have an awareness of so much more than what we give them. Yeah, so they have an awareness of most of the time of what's going on with the person they care about most, i.e. our, I don't want to say owner, but the one that gives them the most care. So they have an awareness of how you're feeling, Simone. So this dog has an awareness of how you're feeling, as well as be open to telepathy. But what I will say is if you're worried she misses you, she definitely misses you because you are tapping into her energy and it's a loop. Yeah. So what I invite you to do is reach out to her energetically. You know, it will help you feel better as well. It will help her feel better. The connection's real between our companion animals, guys. Jess, thanks, Dahlia. Out of the what? Sorry, what does that mean? Welcome, Katrina. Simone, what is my favorite animal? That's cheating. I don't actually have a favorite animal. I have many favorite animals. If you're talking about the animals that I love working with in spirit, I have ones that have been with me for a very long time. My spirit animal's a dolphin. So yeah, I've got a soft spot for the dolphin because that's the one who's taught me the most. That's me. But do you know what? I have a real special spot for any animal that's gone to the extreme to get my attention. And, you know, these power animals, although I'm doing readings for people here and I do readings for people, you know, in person and online to connect you. Also, if an animal has come into your awareness, like you've actually physically met the animal, either it's dead or you've come across a live one, it's still a power animal nonetheless. And that is an animal that either is choosing to journey with you moving forward or is wanting to show you something. So it's those animals that have manifested for me in the physical that have really stayed with me. And I all consider them my favorite. Yeah. Especially the dead ones. Why? It's because I know, and sometimes it's hard for people to know this, but the animals sacrifice itself in that time for me to find it. Yeah. And share power with me so that we can become a team. Obviously, the animal's got its journey as well, but often when you discover a dead animal, yes, it was time for that animal to leave. It's chosen for it to happen then, but nonetheless, it's a sacrifice that it's made so that you can synchronistically connect and journey together. Welcome, Les. Jess, reach out to me if you've got any questions, sweetie. Raven Cat Star, Nancy Wake, Resistance Hero, was known as the White Mouse. Raven Cat Star, you want to hear something funny? I didn't know that. I actually featured in Nancy Wake's movie with Noni Hazelhurst when I was a child. I used to do acting as a kid. So that is so interesting you're bringing that up. I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing. So many spammers. Yeah, look, I take that as a compliment. They don't bother me. I just don't want people who are actually on here to get bothered by it. Oh, Jack Russell, beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, love the dolphin. I love you, Leslie. Any questions here on Instagram before I share something else? I'll just go through your comments. You know, these times are not going to get any easier. We have to be, you know, I guess awaken to the reality that we are in a sci-fi movie, but we have all the tools. We have all the tools we need within us and around us. Been tough watching the lack of compassion. Yeah, absolutely, Caspar. Been feeling so drained for the last week. I'll say something about that. Magic happens. Just bear with me. We have everything we need to navigate these times. Otherwise, we wouldn't have come here for this. And because what we're doing is to heal the last 7 generations of trauma so that the next 7 generations don't have to carry this forward. So we've come here with everything. We've come here with all the past life knowledge that we need. We've all been freaking witches. We've all been medicine people. You know, we've all been empowered in some lifetime, and we're bringing in all that knowledge and awareness into this lifetime. But having said that, the conditions that we've come into are freaking hardcore. These conditions have not been this way. They've been, you know, I'm sure we've been in hell on earth before, but the difference is we are now collectively in hell. We're, you know, I say that loosely. We're collectively going through a massive PTSD journey, and it's requiring for each of us to draw on whatever, you know, wisdom we've got internally, externally, past lives, all of that. But what I really invite you to do is when you are feeling drained, magic happens, when you are feeling low, when you are feeling like your thoughts are too much, or you're struggling, because believe me, I have them too. You know, you can ask Leslie, who loves to pop on here. My boys can be extremely draining. What brings me back to center? There's certain practices that I know have to be a non-negotiable. Do they work straight away? Some of them do. I'll list them for you. Yes, I've got a fire. I love to burn things by the fire. I have a freaking cold shower, okay? So I do this every morning. It's one of my practices. A man does it, send to me, is I'll have my shower, and then I think I've shared this before, and then the last minute is freaking cold water on my face. And I do that a minute, I stop for 30 seconds, a minute, stop for 30 seconds, a minute. Some call that Wim Hof. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing it for that. What I'm doing in those moments is coming back to center as well. It's a massive wake up. I feel like it really strengthens my day, as well as the boys. My boys love, you know, they hear me laughing in the shower and going nuts. It's just added an extra practice that I know it doesn't matter what's going on. I'm going to do that every morning. The fire is, you know, depending on what's going on. But the other practice is definitely the shower. Another practice is, you know, I've got my tools from my bowls, you know, something as simple as this to, you know, I burn Palo Santo, I burn sage, copal, whatever it is. That's a daily ritual. It's not something I do ad hoc. It's not something I do whenever I feel like it. No, we come home, we burn sage, we burn Palo Santo. It's part of my practice. Not only does that ground me, no matter what energies are going out there in the wider world, but it also helps ground my children. And these are freaking non-negotiable. Yeah. I mean, there's so many other things, but I just wanted to highlight whatever works for you, man, stick to it. You need to find the practices that help keep you grounded, and we need to find the practices that help us get us back to center. Yeah, because the times are now. Like, it's not something you can procrastinate on anymore. We need these practices to support us. Feels like we are one step away from Salem witch trials. Caspar, that's an interesting analogy. You're spot on. You're spot on. The only difference is the Salem witches ain't going nowhere. Yeah, the witches ain't going nowhere. Thank you so much. I'm just going through the comments. Ravenstar, you're on Instagram as well, you funny thing. Hey, Rochelle. You guys are awesome. Sunny Mace Designs. Can ladybugs be a spirit animal? Of course they can. Of course they can. Just because our human body is physically this big doesn't mean a spirit animal has to be that big. Yeah? What is a spirit animal? Okay. I didn't say this at the start, but for newbies, the way it works is you're born with one animal, and that animal is a part of you. Okay? That animal is a part of your identity. Is this animal as big as you? No, it doesn't have to be. It could be smaller or larger. It actually doesn't matter. but the energy field of you and this animal is one. What does that mean? It means you've got access to this animal's attributes, skills, abilities, way of navigating, way of looking at the world. However, at some point in childhood, for all of us in this Western world, because we weren't aware of who this animal was, this animal's had to move to the background and a power animal's come in its place. But yes, absolutely, Sunny Mace design, ladybugs can be a spirit animal. Caspar, had a mouse die in my speaker to get my attention. Man, the animals will do whatever they need to do to get your attention. There's no sugarcoating that. If they want to say something to you, they will say something to you. Unfortunately, most of us aren't listening. So they'll persist in another way, or, you'll have the situations where you'll have, I'm going to say, the pest species not leaving, yeah? Not mentioning any names, but I know so many people who have mouse problems, rat problems, consistent ant problems. And I mean over and over and over again. Do they do anything about it? I can try and explain all I like, but they're not open necessarily to this medicine. So the animals will persist because they're not getting the message. And the animals are that committed to people waking up. But really, what is this about? Well, we share energy with these beautiful beings, and they're all essentially messengers of our mother. Yeah? Even if you're not spiritual, you're still one of her children. So the messages are still going to be there. Just we don't have to listen if we don't want to. But hey, you're here, right? But what I wanted to say, okay, thanks everyone for the questions. What I wanted to say before I end this tonight is it's so not going to get easier for a while. Yeah. And, I gathered with a group of mums today who were all in the same boat. We've all got school-age children. And we're all faced with the same issues. And I'm not even talking about the V word at this point. What I'm talking about is what are our own individual values that we're not willing to compromise on? Because whatever those values are, we've got to hold them. It's like hold the line. Beloved Key Crystals, I honor her so much. Hold the line. If there's something you truly believe, don't waver. Yeah, they're going to try and throw every trick. They're going to try and buy this. They're going to try and buy your attention. They're going to try and mesmerize you with all the beautiful bells and whistles. It's part of the strategy of the dark. Let them do whatever they want to do. Yeah. It might come at a sacrifice for each of us individually, but will you maintain your sovereignty through it? And will you take a stand on what you're willing to, take in? It's really a choice. Absolutely. And that's what I mean. Over the coming period of time, we're going to be faced with that. You just have to make the decision on what you're willing to compromise for you to dance with that. Yeah, because we've been given a lot of notice about this. It's just most of us have, on some level, had hoped it would go away. This ain't going away. This ain't going away. This dance is not going to go away. I'd love to say it would, but this has been part of a prophecy for hundreds of years. So we're exactly where we need to be, and we are all here for a reason. We all chose to come here as, I'm going to say, the warriors, not warriors as in WORRIERS, but warriors, WARRIORS. Yeah, we're all warriors. And that's why if there's something you truly believe in, fucking hell, hold it. Yeah, hold on to that belief. Because what I'm fully convinced of, and I get evidence of this on a daily basis, is when you make a choice, if that choice is not the narrative, then the solution starts to creep forward and reveal itself. It may not be there straight away, yeah, because there's a thing called divine timing, but the solution does manifest. Just got to hold on to that. I'm going to say the word faith, but it is faith, but more it's trusting in your own intuition and your own beliefs. Yeah, because you're here for a reason. If we were to come here and put our feet back and just relax and hope it all goes away and, hope life goes back to normal, you wouldn't have chosen to be one of these warriors. That's not warriors. That's not that commitment, because you're doing this for you. And like I said before, you're doing this for the past 7 generations, and you're doing it for the next 7 generations to come. You've got the goods. It's the way it is. You've got the goods. So like I said, the vision I keep on having is all of us holding hands and supporting each other in whichever way that is. I do this by reaching out on here. That's one of the ways. I do a lot of sacred stuff. You can reach out to me and I can share more. But at the end of the day, it's supporting each other to walk each other forward and knowing that you're not alone in this. Truth before tyranny. A woman. Absolutely. And that's the thing. I love men. Okay. I love men. I seriously love men. But I'm sorry, it's the women the women that are going to be doing this in awakening the men, yes, but also it's the women who we just know how to feel in here and navigate this from a place of knowing. I'm not saying the men don't have access to knowing. That's not what I'm saying. But us women, we're able to feel into things a lot more easily. And so we come to a place of knowing a lot more easily. And so the decisions that we make, I pray that a lot of men will as well. But unfortunately, it's going to be up to us to make those decisions probably first for a lot of men. And so it's holding that, I'm going to say hold that torch up for a lot of people to follow, because they've got the last 7 generations of woundings as well, yeah? So I honor all of you for being on this call with me. Reach out to me if you need. We're all in this together. I love these. They give me strength and focus. Aho, sister. Do you know what? I love these Tuesday nights. I'm trying to think of whether I continue calling them power animal readings. They are power animal readings, and that's one of the things I do. But at the same time, it's something else right now. It's about knowing that we are all in this together, and I'm happy to motivate people to remember that, because it's easy to get lost in this freaking matrix. It's really easy to get lost. What I was going to say was an experience I had a couple of days ago, because this just shows you how the animals can work with you in a really subliminal way, is I was about to meet someone I hadn't met in a long time, and someone who normally makes me feel uncomfortable. This was a few days ago. Someone who makes me feel quite uncomfortable in general. Anyway, I'm driving to see this person, and I see the van for pest control with a female redback on there, nice and big on the van. And I go, yep, thanks for the reminder. Thanks for the reminder, because I knew as I'm about to engage with this person, I really should have my boundaries really clear, because that's who female redback, or as we like to call her, mummy redback, with me and my boys. It's knowing that you're going into the situation with boundaries, as well as there's a real power behind the feminine principle when you're engaging, or at least having an awareness of the female redback. She doesn't settle for anything. She settles for what's right for her. And if not, she consumes it. Like, you don't want to mess with a female redback. Sorry. But that's what I mean by the animals. They don't always reveal themselves in the way you can predict. But man, they'll reveal themselves. Are you paying attention? Because they'll be there. Yeah, they're so there. And it could be something as simple as, on a truck. It could be a number plate. It could be a T-shirt. It could be a flash. All of a sudden you notice someone walking by and they're talking about something. The synchronicities are incredible. But like I've said, they're all an extension of your Earth Mother. And so she's really wanting you to know you've got that support. It's all around you. We've got the map of the matrix, even if we aren't aware of it. That's why we're all here. Spot on. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Oh my God, thank you for putting it in those words, Raven. It's so true. It's so, so true. It's not like we came here with an exact manual. Okay, this is what we're going to do when you turn 24. And when the world goes to shit, this is what you're going to need to do. No, but you have all this information inside of you. It's like locks and keys, so that when it comes to having to do and take action in certain ways, it's like you can just feel. You can feel what feels right for you, what doesn't feel right for you. There's a knowing that something isn't right with this structure. There's a knowing, I actually have to say I'm blown away on a daily basis at how much, Hollywood, or how much the movies industry has given us the whole story all along. I'm blown away by that. There's so many, there's so many dots that I've now been able to connect, having an awareness of all this and looking at the movies I've watched over the years. They put it all in plain sight. They have to put it all in plain sight, because then we give consent. Yeah. And now that we're aware of that and we've given our consent on that level, we can come to a place where we don't give our consent. And that's not buying into the matrix, locks and keys. That's it. Okay. So anyway, I could talk about this till the cows come home. We're already on 40 minutes. I love you all. Thank you for being here. If you do struggle, or if you are struggling, please reach out. All right. I'm here to support you. You're not in this alone. Take care of yourself during the week. Light those fires, have those cold showers, light that sage, Palo Santo, whatever it is for you, and let's do this together, yeah? Take care, beautiful people. You are awesome. You have a great night too, Casper. Love you, sister. Thank you, Raven. Cat Star, you rock.